it's Esme, and as you can see, I'm back here at home in England. If you follow me over on Instagram, you would have seen that last week I was actually in Senegal in West Africa with the Brooke Charity. So you guys might know the Brooke Charity because I actually did my hackathon this year, and there were hundreds of you guys that did my hackathon as well. So thank you so much for all the money that was raised for the Brooke Charity. So I thought I'd show you what I got up to in Senegal. So the reason why I went to Senegal in West Africa was to go and see some of the incredible work that the Brooke Charity is doing, because in most parts of the world, horses, donkeys and mules are working animals, and they have to be to keep communities going, because most communities, they can't afford cars or lorries or tractors, and so the horses kind of have to be that for them. The first person I went and met was Fatou, who is a farrier that's been trained up by Brooke, and she makes sure that these working horses, donkeys and mules are in good condition. So this horse is just having its hooves done right now, and I think it's enjoying having a little snack as well at the same time. So I'm currently in Thiès with Fatou, who is a farrier, and she's actually been doing really well at the moment and starting to train other farriers as well, which is brilliant, all with the help of Brooke. So if you'd like to help train other farriers, I'll leave some links in the description below where you can actually gift for Christmas, for example, having a farrier trained. So it means more horses like this can have their hooves done, which is obviously great for their health, and I think he's very much enjoyed the food as well. All of my horses, such as Mickey here, have a stable that they can go in, such as when it's raining here in the UK or when it's windy, and to protect them from the elements, but also in the summer when it's really hot they can come in here in the shade and cool down. So I went over and saw one of the shelters that's been built by Brooke to make sure that these working horses and donkeys have somewhere to go to protect them from the sun. I'm here in one of the Senegal's market towns, and I'm actually here at one of the Brooke shelters that has been built using their funding. So before, the horses would just be tied up anywhere out in the sun, which is really bad as they could get heat stroke, they could be stolen, and it really wasn't a very safe place. They could escape, or they would just be taken through the market, which again could be quite dangerous. So now they can stay here in these safe shelters, they're in the shade, they have food, they have water, and also some of the local people keep their horses here too, as well as horses that are undergoing treatment from the vets. So for example, if my horses needed treatment at the vets needed to stay overnight, this is a safe place that the horses receiving treatment can now stay. Currently here with this donkey that's actually one of the patients that's being hospitalised at the moment, and I can tell you this now, it is so much cooler in here due to the shade, because out there it is boiling hot. I think it's the hottest I've ever been. I'm now here with this stallion, and he's been working all morning, pulling the cart, pulling things to market. So now he's come back inside into his stable, into the shade, because it's midday, it's very hot, and he's having a little bit of a rest, bit of food and water. So he's a little bit sweaty because he's been working, but I think he's enjoying the rest now. I'm here with Ida, who is a farrier, so we're currently in the area where the horses can come, get their hooves trimmed, filed down, and also just have like a check over and make sure they're all okay. I've just been shown some of the farrier tools, and a lot of these are very similar to what we use back in England. So I have a hoof pick, I also have a rasp, a paring knife, so let's see them in action. With a lot of horses comes a lot of poo. So every day I muck out the horses' stables, I poopate the fields, and it all goes in here, which is the muck truck. So I need to do this obviously for hygiene reasons, but also to prevent things such as worms. But in developing countries, this isn't always the case. Sometimes horses are tied up and they're literally standing in their own poo. So one of the projects that Brooke has done is called Biogas, and it means that the poo is actually useful. So I went and visited a school that is basically powered by poo. Senegal, there are a lot of horses, a lot of donkeys and a lot of mules that we've seen already. However, with all these animals comes a lot of poo, especially as on average a horse does around 8 to 10 poos a day. So this next project funded by Brooke is actually all about poo and basically how poo can be made into gas and then turned into electricity as well. So behind me here we actually have a school and this is powered by biogas. So basically all of the poo gets put into this tank and the gases that come off it, such as methane, then gets tapped off. It goes into the school and also into some of the houses as well. So this provides electricity. It also is great for the women as it means they don't have to go searching for firewood, and it's also good because it can reduce respiratory problems, as before the smoke and soot from the firewood or from oil lamps and things would be really bad as well. And obviously it's great for the school because it also means that children can learn when it's dark, they can do homework when it's dark and things like that as well. Okay, so this is where the poo goes in, and then you mix it around and there's a little hole at the bottom where the tube goes. So all the poo that's all crushed up goes down there and then into the tank. And usually the tank is actually inflated, but because it's currently the end of the school year, it's all deflated at the moment. So here on the biogas generator, there's actually a little tap and then that goes up to the kitchen. So then the gas can be used for cooking and also with the generator go into lighting as well. So here we have the last stage where we have all of the excess poo and this is then taken over to the farm, spread across the fields and used as fertilizer so nothing is wasted. Okay, so we're now in the kitchen and here we have the gas pipe that goes to the new gas cooker. So this means that when all of the school dinners are made, it's a lot better environment because before it would be really smoky and not very good for your lungs. Now it's got a much cleaner fuel that's also free because it comes from the poo and you can make your nice school dinners on it. So I'm now just looking around the school and I've just popped into one of the classrooms and this little table and chairs is really taking me back. But it's also brilliant because in here the lighting is also powered by the biogas, which is just brilliant. But also these projects that are funded by Brooke, they're really good because they're not just working with the owners of the horses and donkeys, they're working with the whole community. And this information is now being passed down to the younger generation and is causing lifelong change. So now I'm in the fields where they have the crops and where they can get all of the excess from the biogas generator, so there's no waste, put it on the crops and help them grow. Okay guys, so the last couple of days here in Senegal, West Africa with the Brooke Charity have been absolutely incredible, seeing some of the work that they've been doing, but Brooke needs your guys' help. So if you click on the link in the description below, it'll take you over to the Brooke shop, so maybe you and a friend could buddy up and buy something, or maybe if it's your friend or family member's birthday or with Christmas around the corner, you could buy something for them, such as training a farrier or looking after 2 horses. So thank you so much guys for all of your help. Every morning Casper gets his breakfast, so I think he's very much enjoying it at the moment. He also gets grass from the field and then at night when he goes in the stable he gets a hay net. However, in some countries with horses this isn't the case, especially in countries such as Senegal that's prone to droughts where crop yields can be lower, and in some cases horses have to go hungry because their owners have to feed their children first. So one of the projects that Brooke has done is called Kelpie plants. So these plants are drought resistant, they can be grown and harvested all year round, and the plants can be used to feed the horses, and then also there are seeds that can be sold for profit and help the communities. So this horse here is a little bit shy, not too sure about new people, hey? But definitely knows who its mum is. Oh wow. So I'm here with Fama and today we're going to be learning a little bit more about Kelpies and why they're so important. So later on we're actually going to go over to the farm and see them growing, learn a bit more about them and also meet her horse. So this horse here is definitely enjoying the Kelpie leaves. Hey? Yeah. They're Merci. So I'm here with Fama and we're now out in the fields. We've got some crops here of the Kelpie seeds and she's just showing me which ones are ready to be picked. And I've got a few here. So this donkey here is definitely reminding me of Bruno. I think it's because they're both the same colour, but also this guy is definitely enjoying his food. So the reason why Kelpie seeds are so important, especially here in Senegal, is because it's really prone to drought here, especially with climate change as well increasing that. So it means that when there is a drought, the yield of crops can be really low. So these are specialised seeds designed so they're drought resistant, but it also benefits humans and the equines because the crops actually have seeds which are brilliant for the humans that they can sell for profit, and then the leaves can be used to feed the animals, so then they are no longer hungry. When my animals need veterinary care, I ring up the vets, they come over, check them out. However, in some countries, this just isn't the case. So when I was in Senegal, I met some of the vets and the paravets that have been trained up by Brooke, and I also went to one of their outreach hubs to find out more. So I'm here at a Brooke outreach hub. So here we have a vet and we also have some paravets as well that have been trained by Brooke. So having the paravets is really great because it means that they can go out to different communities as well because there is only one vet in this kind of area. So here people can bring their horses and donkeys and get them wormed and vaccinated just like we do back in England. So we've just seen this donkey have its vaccinations and then now it's going to get wormed just like our horses are back in England. So we have one main vet and then lots of paravets as well that have all been trained by Brooke. So having the paravets actually means that they can go out to other communities as there is only one main vet. So if they have, for example, a case that is a bit more serious, they can go back to the vet and ask for their advice. So the donkeys behind me here have just been wormed and had their vaccinations as well, and they were really good. They were so much better than my donkey Bruno back home in England. But also they just had a little check over, make sure there aren't any cuts or lumps, and if there were, they just got a little bit of iodine solution on some cotton wool and just gave that a little bit of a clean up. Okay guys, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to all of you that have taken part in my hackathon this year and have helped out as well. So since I've been working with the Brooke Charity, I've really been able to see some of the awful conditions that these horses and donkeys are in, as well as that they're being susceptible to disease and also theft as well. So since working with Brooke, I've also been able to see some of the incredible work that they're doing, such as training vets, paravets and farriers, and also some of the projects that they're doing, such as with Kelpie plants. And these plants are drought resistant, so they can grow all year round, be harvested all year round, and it also means that they have food for their horses, as well as the seeds can also be sold for profit, helping communities as well. I've also seen some of the other work they've been doing, such as with the biogas plant at one of the schools, where poo can actually be transformed into gas that can then be transformed into electricity, powering the schools, and just some of the projects they're doing, they're just so amazing. So thank you again for all of your support as well. So I'm actually going to be doing my hackathon next year, and I hope that some of you guys as well will do it next year. So if you are, be sure to join the 200 Club as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Brooke YouTube channel, where there'll be some behind the scenes vlogs of what I've been getting up to here in Senegal. Thanks for watching, bye!